Let's jump to this first story. Let's get into it. We have this Twitter thread from Jesse Single. He says, because she is very on Twitter and has Harvard in her bio, Cara Bayo is seen by journalists with no subject matter expertise as a serious voice on anti-disinformation, counter-extremism stuff. She spreads disinformation all the time, like seemingly every new viral lefty rumor. The story, my friends, Andrew Tate's arrest. So as I mentioned, in the intro, I'm in Savannah. We're in line at Leopold's. Savannah people know what I'm talking about. Tourist ice cream. It was really good, by the way. But the line's massive. Shane Cashman is there. He did this excellent story on Kerry Lake's election lawsuit. He was there. You really got to read the story if you haven't. I tweeted about it. It's on timcast.com. But anyway, we're talking about Andrew Tate. 10 minutes later, he's like walking around on his phone. He walks back over after I pull up Twitter. I see the story breaking. And then I'm just like, dude, did you hear? And he's like, yeah, what's going on? Like, Andrew Tate gets arrested for human trafficking. And so then all of a sudden this story emerges. He did this video in response to Greta Thunberg, where he's smoking a cigar and he's eating pizza, and he says, get me some pizzas, make sure the boxes aren't recycled. Alejandra Caraballo, a trans woman, posts, Romanian authorities needed proof that Andrew Tate was in the country, so they reportedly used his social media posts. His ridiculous video yesterday featured a pizza from a Romanian pizza chain, Jerry's Pizza, confirming he was in the country. This is absolutely epic. This is outright nonsense fact. But the crazy thing to me was when I saw that going viral, I was immediately like, why would they need a video of him eating pizza? He flew in. He's on the manifest. While they're flying private or otherwise, they provide a list of names of people entering the country. He'd have to have a passport unless he bribed somebody. But even then, it's as if they needed proof he was in the country to arrest him. Why would they need proof he was in the country? Either he's in the country and they go arrest him, or he's not. So what was the point of this tweet? Right. Just to make up a lie, to post some insane lie. And then Caraballo says, not only did Greta Thunberg destroy Andrew Tate with her tweet, she made him so angry he inadvertently tipped off Romanian authorities of his presence in Romania with his lame comeback video. The dude has a complex in Romania. He's got a massive building complex. This is it's a hoax, but it's not just this one story. Jesse Single also points out Caraballo helped spread the rumor that the Club Q shooting had a connection to anti-LGBTQ rhetoric, still unproven. And then that story went viral, like, oh, this person was anti-LGBTQ. Then it turns out the person was non-binary. And he says the same deal with the power station attacks, which remain unsolved. Authorities are still seeking a motive. Caraballo gets viral attention by suggesting some of the attacks had to do with Drag Queen Story Hour. The crazy thing is, this person, this trans activist, speaks before Congress, literally just takes a random story and then says, oh, it's because they hate trans people. And the media runs with it.
This person is also cited as an online safety and disinformation expert. So not just does the media run with all the lies, but they also use Alejandra to talk about safety and online disinformation. And it's just bizarre that this person just spreads all these hoaxes. And I'll note that these hoaxes actually have real world effects. The other two hoaxes that were spread, they actually blame them on me. So I'm getting tons of hate because, they said that I caused the power outages because I posted about that drag show, and it has nothing to do with drag.
Right.
And it wasn't just me getting hate. There were other big accounts also getting hate for posting about those events. So this person is out here spreading lies. And we're getting a lot of hate for it, and then the media cites them, and it's totally not true.
I want to talk about Andrew Tate a little bit, but I first have to ask, why do you think it is that they hate you so much?
I think it's a really big threat to them when they see their own words being said and being spread the way that it is.
But no. I'm sorry. That's what I don't understand. A person says a thing. And then you go, hey, look, this person said a thing. And they're like, stop.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Well, not just that. Also, they want to go viral on TikTok. The reason they make TikToks is to go viral. So they want these videos to be shared and spread, and they want a ton of views, but just not by us.
Do you take it out of context and just post the worst?
Never. I don't edit the videos.
Yeah. Do you just take tiny clips of longer videos and post the most wacky
Only
stuff?
if it's a 10-minute video.
You should have responded to Tim's question by saying you're a top G. and that there's a war on top G's going on right now.
Is that what Tate says?
That's what people in the comment section are going after. Yeah, he's making vague kind of gestures. Someone is tweeting for him, obviously, because he's still being detained for 30 days in a Romanian jail. So a lot of people don't understand how things work in Romania. They think it's very similar to how it works in the United States. It's actually not the case. I want to kind of bring them back to what's happening with Andrew Tate, because in Romania, you have to be accused of a crime. You don't need probable cause. Police could hold you for 24 hours and, of course, investigate and check out your premises and have search warrants. But something very odd is happening here, because, number one, there's footage of all of this being released to the general public. That's extremely strange. That's not standard protocol, especially when it comes to the raid. And the private rooms and the private, stuff that Andrew Tate has in one of his house. I think there was 5 search warrants on 5 different homes that were being served. All of those are on video, available for the general public to see, which is, again, something that routinely doesn't happen and is not supposed to be going on during an ongoing investigation. And after those 24 hours, a judge gets to decide if he's going to be holding someone longer. A judge could actually hold someone for 180 days. He decided to hold Andrew Tate for 30 days. And there's a lot of fake news. There's a lot of disinformation. We still don't know exactly what happened here. We're still waiting for a lot of the information to come forward. But the media is running with just absolute nonsensical bullcrap hit pieces. And they're talking about, there was large sums of money. There was some makeshift weapons found. I mean, yeah, the guy was debanked. Yeah, the guy has a high profile. Of course, you're going to have cash around. Of course, you're going to have security. Of course, you're going to have weapons. So it looks like, looking at the corporate media reporting on this, that they have a particular narrative. This is why they had to run with the pizza box story. And again, the Romanian authorities had to intervene on that story and say specifically, hey, this is inaccurate. It wasn't the pizza box that led to his arrest. But there was also someone who tweeted a couple months ago saying that Andrew Tate was going to be arrested at the end of 2023 because the Romanian government was facing a lot of pressure by the American authorities. And this brings me to the latest story of what's happening in the Virgin Islands, which I hope we get to talk about in just a little bit, which is also just as eye-opening and just as crazy. No, the U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General officially sued Chase Bank for being a part of this larger trafficking operation of Epstein and breaking the rules, not reporting, and helping him aid and abet in his international trafficking operation. She was just fired, by the way, just moments ago.
And Jill and Joe Biden just flew there.
And the U.S. Virgin Islands are also asking for a huge sum of money from the federal government. So all of that is also happening right now, which is just crazy.
Look, as it pertains to Andrew Tate, I just gotta say, look, I don't know. Innocent until proven guilty. Let's see the evidence. I've heard clips of him saying things that are shockingly offensive, but people are allowed to be offensive. But he talks about having women do cam work for him because they love him, having women who don't love him doing cam work and then demanding money. I'll just say this, man, if these allegations are true, they better throw the book at him right after they finish that Maxwell case and we figure out who she was trafficking to. He's Tate's at the bottom of the list.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
We've been sitting here for a few months waiting for that Epstein client list. And so priorities, guys, don't jump the gun on this one. I know Andrew Tate, big fish to fry, but we're still working on the Maxwell Epstein.
Yeah. We're still working on Prince Andrew, Bill Gates, Kevin Spacey, Bill Clinton. There's still a lot of other people that we got to
Then we'll get to Andrew Tate.
They're working on that.
Epstein was one of Maxwell's clients. She would facilitate girls to different guys, and Epstein was one of them. I mean, it goes deep on Ghislaine Maxwell. Robert Maxwell, her dad. I just watched a documentary on her over the holiday.
You think she was the one who was actually in
control? She is the ringmaster, and she is so connected that they're not afraid she's going to talk. And they just put her in this cushy, home detention center where she's sipping whatever.
Is it so? Are you saying then, in your opinion, Epstein was actually like her plaything? And she was giving him the things he wanted, but she was actually in charge.
Yeah.
And then when he gets busted, they're like, he's going to talk. And then
for sure, they thought he was going to talk. And in my opinion, what happened was her dad, Robert Maxwell, hundreds of millions of dollars worth. She would go around and hang out with him everywhere. He was her money boy. They lived the rich lifestyle. He was always her advisor. He dies. Immediately, she hooks up with another money boy, and it's Jeffrey Epstein. And she just ties her life in with this guy and starts feeding him young women because that's what he likes.
Well, I just got to say, look,
unless he's still alive.
If these allegations against Andrew Tate about human trafficking are true, like, wow, I'm going to be really angry in 18 months when they finally get through that entire list that Luke just read off. No, let's be real. They're jumping the list. Well, now I'm offended. It's like, come on, man. Look, all of these other people who are very powerful and very wealthy, who are connected to Epstein, we want the Epstein client list. Instead, they're like, Andrew Tate, yeah, he's trafficking. It's like, oh, all right. Well, if we're gonna be in that subject matter, so who is really pushing this narrative, right? This person, Alejandro Caraballo, mocking Andrew Tate and all that stuff. It's like, hey, that's really great, but anybody who cares about trafficking is going to be talking about Epstein or Maxwell.
Maxwell, keep it on Maxwell. I think she's alive. She's definitely the ringleader. I mean, I can't say definitely because I don't know, but if you look at like Maria Farmer's, memory of the thing is Ghislaine at the very center. Ghislaine's the money girl. She's the party animal. She just follow the money.
Have you ever seen those conspiracies that Jeffrey Epstein is still alive?
Oh yeah, but there's a conspiracy for everything.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think, Luke?
There's a nice photo of him on the maybe of him. Sorry, excuse me, of drone footage of that island that made me want to go there particularly. But that's a whole different story. I think it's feasible. I think right now with how much the government has lied, with how much they have actually just screwed over the American people, with just how long they've been running an international trafficking operation, 30 plus years that we know of.
Like anything's possible.
Yeah, exactly. So right now Andrew Tate is also facing 20 years in jail if convicted, so he's still going to be detained. He might be detained even longer from here, and we're going to find out exactly what's happening here. But reading the Romanian kind of press release on this, they're talking about him being a lover boy. They're talking about him telling women that he's going to be falling in love with them, and that allegedly is a crime because he made them work on an OnlyFans site. So again, if that's what they're going after him for, that's extremely strange. If there's going to be bigger bombshells, obviously, if someone does something wrong, they should be punished for it, obviously. But a lot of people are saying that this is too coincidental, that he has empowered a lot of people. He has made a lot of people think independently, and therefore now he's being silenced and punished. He's playing along with that. Whoever is on his Twitter account playing along with that kind of narrative. Is he truly that bad person that the media is making him out to be? Well, only time will tell, but a lot of people are saying it's very suspicious that they're only predominantly focusing and going after him at this time when he's such an important figure for so many important people.
His brother too, Tristan. Is Tristan involved?
No, but the question is this. I mean, one, I don't trust the machine when it pulls things like this. Well, I'll put it this way: innocent until proven guilty. I don't care anytime. But with Julian Assange, they make up fake sex crimes against him, which have been washed away. Like the investigation's over. There's nothing to it. But now he's being held on espionage charges. So they were just trying to find a reason to stop Julian from being able to do work. Andrew Tate's very different. He's a guy who goes on shows and talks about all of his women and how he does these things. It's very, very different. But I'm right away like, you mean to tell me you're so concerned about human trafficking, meanwhile Maxwell's client list is just nowhere to be found? Sorry, I don't believe it. Look, I think maybe they don't like the guy. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe the accusations could be true. All that stuff, fine. But I'm going to lean towards doubt because Maxwell's there.
Dude, I just watched
Get the client list and then go after human traffickers if you're really concerned about human trafficking.
I watched a 50-minute Jimmy Dore episode with this girl, Whitney Webb. Whitney Webb is the nexus of the Epstein-Maxwell information, if you want to find out. She just wrote a book on it, and it's basically about One Nation Under Blackmail is the name of her new book. According to Whitney Webb, the CIA has been doing sex trafficking and entrapment on people since the 30s. Like they did it to the head of the CIA, or the FBI. What's that guy's name for 40 years? He was found doing some sex acts on a guy. They found him, took some pictures, and Kennedy. They had stuff on. And Kennedy wouldn't play ball. According to Whitney Webb.
Why?
What's that? I highly recommend watching this Jimmy Dore episode with Whitney Webb.
I was going to say, why wouldn't they? Right? If we know the FBI is getting involved in like the Whitmer stuff, it's like getting what do they have, like 14 agents and like 2 guys, and then convince them to go for a ride along and stuff. If they're going to stage fake terror plots, why wouldn't they also try to blackmail people?
Yeah, I mean, the FBI has been doing it since its inception, especially under J. Edgar Hoover and everything he was doing. And Ian, the CIA was started in 1947, not in the 30s. But the CIA was also doing a lot of crazy things like dosing people with acid and LSD and not telling them that they were dosing them and running larger human experiments, MK Ultra, U.S. Operation Paperclip. There's so many sinister things that the intelligence agencies have been doing throughout the last few decades. To think that they're not doing it now when they were never held accountable for it before is absolutely naive and crazy. I don't know. What do you think in your line of work? Because you see a lot of this stuff on the front line. You're seeing a lot of this, kind of larger engineering by the intelligence agencies on social media that promote a lot of this nonsense.
Yeah, I think that specifically with the Twitter files, that really brought this out a lot. It was really interesting, where they're so embedded with big tech, which basically is policing our speech. It's just so insane that that they're able to have that much power over random citizens. I mean, there's so much. And then the way that they were going after, you know, moms at school board meetings and all that kind of stuff. They've been gone unchecked for decades.
And they probably censored you.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I was part of the Twitter files. I didn't see anything specific with the FBI, but I would not be surprised if that comes out soon.
Not yet.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.